Data science in your pocket. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a massive deep dive into a technical breakthrough that is, quite frankly, rewriting the rules of artificial intelligence. We're looking at Long-Live 2.0. It's an entirely new parallel infrastructure designed specifically for generating long, continuous, high-quality AI video. Now, if you've been following the generative space, you know the absolute wall developers hit when trying to scale video length. Well, today, we're going to unpack exactly how a team of researchers systematically dismantled that wall. Think about the sheer power of that phrase we just mentioned. For years, deploying advanced, multi-shot, generative video models basically meant relying on massive, power-hungry server farms. But what we're looking at today, it's a total paradigm shift. Long-Live 2.0 is really the art of shrinking that massive, unwieldy computational load into a hyper-efficient infrastructure, and doing it without losing a single ounce of output quality. That is the core philosophy driving this whole architecture. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the long video AI bottleneck. Then we'll introduce the Long-Live 2.0 framework, dive into training faster with balanced SP, and cover accelerating inference and deployment. After that, we'll look at the NVFP for performance leap, and finally wrap up with the future of generative video. All right, section 1, the long video AI bottleneck. Okay, let's dive right into this. To understand the cure, we first got to understand the disease. Why is generating a minute-long AI video so exponentially harder than just, say, a 3-second clip? Well, it's a sheer computational wall. When you're training an autoregressive long video model, you aren't just processing a few frames. The model needs to process long sequences of clean history right alongside noisy target sequences. Because of this, everything scales super aggressively. Your GPU memory demands just skyrocket. The preparation of your VAE latents, those crucial image encoders, becomes this massive, unwieldy task. And crucially, your DIT gems, the core matrix multiplications inside the diffusion transformer backbone, they scale sharply with the length of the video. You just quickly run out of compute, memory, and time. But, the bottleneck isn't just in the training lab. When you actually try to deploy these models into the real world, you realize that real applications require way more than just a fast diffusion model. High frames per second in the model literally means nothing if your system latency is terrible. Your KV cache, the memory the AI uses to remember past frames, it grows totally out of control and has to be managed efficiently. The VAE decoding process alone adds massive end-to-end latency. And if you want multi-shot continuous generation, where the camera cuts but the scene stays logically coherent, the latency required to process those transitions demands serious system-level handling. Moving on to section 2, introducing the Long-Live 2.0 framework. Faced with these seemingly impossible training and deployment bottlenecks, researchers didn't just go in and tweak the algorithm. No, they built something entirely new. And this is absolutely crucial to take away from this explainer. For way too long, the AI industry has treated the algorithm and the hardware infrastructure as two totally separate silos. Data scientists build the model, and then engineers try to make it run fast. Long-Live 2.0 throws that entirely out the window. It treats the algorithm and the infrastructure as one unified system. By co-designing the model's architecture with the actual physical realities of the GPU infrastructure, they literally eliminate the friction between the two. Which brings us to section 3, training faster with balanced SP. Now, what's really interesting about this is how exactly this unified approach solves the training bottleneck. This architecture elegantly tackles that memory explosion problem we talked about. SP stands for sequence parallelism, and Long-Live 2.0 introduces this concept of balanced SP. So instead of replicating massive amounts of data across every single GPU, each rank owns both the clean and the noisy latents from the exact same temporal chunk. Why does this matter? Well, because it perfectly matches the teacher forcing attention mask, it balances the loss-bearing tokens evenly across your hardware, and brilliantly, it allows the massive VAE encoding process to be sharded or broken up into pieces by chunk. It makes autoregressive fine-tuning of long videos actually practical. And because of this balanced SP architecture, the researchers were able to create a remarkably clean training pipeline. Look at how straightforward this is compared to traditional methods. Step 1, you start with your standard base bidirectional diffusion model. Step 2, you turn it directly into a long, interactive, multi-shot autoregressive model. Notice what's missing there? They completely skip the convoluted ODE initialization and those short video DMD stages that usually just bog down these pipelines. Finally, step 3, they apply standalone LoRa weights to give the model few-step inference capability. It's lean, it's direct, and it is incredibly fast. Let's look at section 4, accelerating inference and deployment. So having streamlined the training process, the framework has to tackle the other half of the bottleneck, right? Getting this massive model to generate video in real time for actual end users. This is where the NVFE4 inference infrastructure comes into play, and man, it's a masterclass in system optimization. First, they execute inference using the highly compressed, low-precision W4A4 format. Second, to stop that KV cache from just eating all the memory, they compress it entirely into NVFE4. Third, when the model needs that data back, they reconstruct the cache chunks using a blazing fast parallel dequantization kernel. And fourth, and this is just genius, they use streaming VAE decoding. This lets them overlap the video decoding process with the DIT denoising process. By running those simultaneously, they directly slash end-to-end user latency. But to make this hyper-compressed W4A4 inference work without destroying the visual quality of the video, they utilize NVFP4 DMD with LoRa. Usually, distribution matching distillation, or DMD, totally breaks when you highly quantize a model. But here, they keep the quantized backbone completely fixed. They only use LoRa updates to align the generator and score models. What does this mean for us? It means the two-step generation recipe becomes incredibly stable and way easier to transfer between different deployments without breaking the underlying model. And then there's the huge challenge of the multi-shot video, videos with camera cuts. If you cut to a new angle, how does the AI remember what the subject looks like without recomputing the entire video history? The answer they came up with is the multi-shot attention sync. It uses a fixed global sync to remember the core identity of the subject across the full video, but it also uses a shot-level sync that rebounds, or essentially resets, at every single scene change. This gives you local temporal coherence. It's exactly the architecture needed to support minute-scale streaming without the absolute nightmare of constant memory allocation. Now, it's easy to get lost in the heavy math of NVFP4 and attention syncs, so let's ground this for a second. What does this dry infrastructure actually produce? Well, it systematically handles vibrant, complex, multi-shot creative prompts without breaking a sweat. We're talking flawless, continuous sequences of Wall-E noticing a tiny insect and studying a plant across multiple camera angles. It seamlessly renders a husky moving from a cozy room to a sunlit hallway. It handles the fluid motion of a chef stirring bright vegetables in a hot wok, or a groomer carefully trimming a dog's coat, maintaining object permanence and identity across every single shot. It is truly remarkable to see in action. Moving on to Section 5, the NVFP4 Performance Leap. We've seen the architecture, and we know what it can generate. But in the world of data science, everything comes down to the benchmarks. Let's look at the hard performance data. The first metric is a massive 2.1 times speedup in 64-second autoregressive training. Just let that sink in for a second. Compared to the standard baseline of BF16 with standard sequence parallelism, the Long-Live 2.0 framework literally more than doubles the training speed for long-form video. That's huge. Moving from training to generation, the system achieves 45.7 frames per second. This was recorded on the powerful GB200 using their two-step generation recipe. So we are talking about highly complex, high-resolution generative video being pushed out at frame rates faster than standard cinema. And it does all of this incredibly efficiently. The peak memory required during this process is only 19.4 gigabytes. By compressing that notorious KV cache into the NVFP4 format we talked about, they've successfully wrangled the memory explosion that normally makes long video generation basically impossible on commercial-grade hardware. Finally, looking at distillation, we see a 0.69x DMD peak memory ratio. By utilizing NVFP4, combined with those fixed backbone LoRa updates we discussed earlier, the memory footprint during the complex distillation phase is slashed to less than 70% of previous baselines. Absolutely incredible. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world impact of all these system-level optimizations. Just look at the end-to-end generation time. For a 16-second video, the baseline takes 26.6 seconds. Long-Live 2.0 does it in just 11.2, but watch how it scales. For a massive 64-second generative video, the baseline drags at nearly 2 minutes, 112.9 seconds. The Long-Live 2.0 framework drops that end-to-end generation time to just 36.3 seconds. By treating the algorithm and infrastructure as one single entity, they have fundamentally conquered the scaling bottleneck. Finally, Section 6, the future of generative video. We've decoded the framework today from balanced sequence parallelism all the way to NVFP4 distillation. But what does this all mean for the road ahead? Well, we started this explainer by talking about data science in your pocket. Long-Live 2.0 proves that the future of generative AI isn't just about making models bigger, it's about making them incredibly efficient, cohesive systems. By solving the memory and latency bottlenecks of long-form, multi-shot video, this tech is paving the way for real-time video generation in our daily consumer apps. So I'll leave you with this. When seamless, minute-long AI video generation becomes as fast and accessible as sending a text message, how will that revolutionize your digital world? Thank you for joining me on this deep dive, and keep your eyes on the